Let me talk my shit, man. Hey, listen, we're back. My door's open. And I'm hot as shit. I'm gonna take this shit off. Hold on. Let me talk my shit, man. Hey, listen, I can't lie. My intro's gotta be better. Like, I like the. Let me talk my shit, man. But the way I just be dropping back into my chair, like it feels awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels awkward. Like what's a better way to do this? Because if I had it my way, I would throw myself into this chair and then just say that. Do you know what I'm saying? But this chair's flimsy. This chair's a bit fragile, so I know it might break. Bro, I was literally leaning back like this one time, right? Leaning back like this one time, I heard. I'm like, bro, I wasn't even doing the mad thing. You remember back in school, everyone used to swing on their chairs, bro. I used to be a serial chair swinger. I'm not gonna lie to the guys. I used to be a serial chair swinger. I used to try to find the balance point. You know what I'm saying? You know the ones where you lean the chair so far back, like you're literally balanced. You're balancing on those two stools. Oh, now I used to do this with every chair. Like I'm thinking of science. You know them science wooden stools. I don't know if you man had them, but even normal chairs, I used to push back and put my hand on the table, yeah, and like the whole thing would be pushed back, and I would literally be like milliseconds away from just losing it all, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously, I had my hand there for security purposes. I made sure I didn't bust my head open for no foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Guys always used to say, stop swinging on your chair, bro. All of the teachers, they used to get onto you for that. But no, that shit was keep my brain occupied. Um, but yeah, tangent. Um, what are we talking about today? I can't lie. Yesterday I was just feeling. I wasn't up to scratch yesterday. I was feeling too much pressure for no reason, and I realized that. Like I was thinking too much about the video, and I was deep in it too much, and then when you want to say something, but then this is. I haven't really thought this through yet, and I've made a point to think this through, and it's essentially about the subconscious filter that automatically applies and shows up as hesitancy, lack of confidence, and so on and so on. But I'm not gonna finish that thought because I haven't really thought through it yet. Do you know what I'm saying? But hey, listen, let's get to business. What are we talking about today? One thing I was thinking about in regards to these videos is that I'm like, most of the time that I've just sat in front of this camera, I ain't thought of no script, not even one gonna. I haven't even thought about what I'm gonna say when I get in front of this camera, because when I get in front of this camera and I just let it flow, then it flows naturally. Do you know what I'm saying? But yesterday, I think I was thinking about it too much, and today I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just busy, and I was just hopped in the front of this camera and I'm just speaking. You know what I'm saying? That's where you get the best of me, bro. I'm just here. I'm just here. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think too much about it, and I think that goes. That is. I think that goes for also natural, normal conversation as well. You have to be present. You have to be present, and you have to be authentic, and you have to be yourself. If you're in your head too much and you're thinking about, oh, how is this person gonna react? How are people gonna think of me? How how might someone's perspective change on me as a result of this conversation? It it interferes with your ability to partake fully in that conversation and bring your true self. And regardless of what everyone thinks of you, nobody listen. Regardless of what anybody thinks of you, what you think of you is the most important thing. Because if you don't think highly of you, how is anybody else gonna think highly of you? You don't have that self-respect. Nobody else can give you that respect, bro. Because if you don't have that self-respect and people start trampling all over you, you have to be able to demand for that for that respect. And you can only do that from a place of self-respect, of worthiness. So listen, you are valuable. I am valuable. We are all valuable. We are one. I was listening to a video this morning. Chase Hughes. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was speaking about a mad thing this morning. He was speaking about he had a video about ancient texts, and he found a lot of parallels between them, and all of these different ancient texts that occurred throughout history had had like unifying themes, which wouldn't even make sense in the sense that they weren't connected, so they weren't getting it from each other, but they still had these core themes throughout, and it was kind of like proposed that It was the result of imperfect humans trying to capture an essence of something that was true. And this essence came out in these five core themes, right? And essentially, I just saw it as like because I've been seeing a lot of panpsychist theories recently. And so it just feels like a kind of like panpsychist, like we are all one. Nothing is separate. These sorts of ideas, right? Are becoming a lot more popular, right? And I see like parallels between them. That was essentially what that video was, but it was more of a like a I'll say distinct. It was more of a like a distinct um theme. Like it was the same theme, but it was like kind of separate from it, like because it wasn't like fully panpsych. It's like the fact. I think the main difference was that it's not. It doesn't have to be consciousness that we're all made of, right? It doesn't have to be consciousness that we're all made of, and that's the reason why we're all connected. But regardless of what connects us, we are all connected. That was the main thing. Regardless of what connects us, we are one and we are all connected. That was the idea. Nothing is separate. We are all connected. That's why it says help thy neighbor and these things here and this, that, and other in all these different religious and ancient texts. Um yeah. Tangent. Listen. Um Again, this is a Keto series. I'm not here to speak about um philosophy, metaphysics. I'm not here to speak about that. But it's just something that came to mind and something that I read that I came across today, and I think that is useful for me in terms of memory recall to be able to explain what I've read and listen to somebody else who might actually care about who might actually care about these sorts of things and might find them interesting, because no one in my life is gonna give me the time of day. Hey, but no, I think it's helpful for me, and it might be interesting to you. You can listen. You can skip to the keto part. I can't lie. This is not even keto at this point. It's not a keto series. It's just me just talking. What am I doing, man? What am I doing, bro? What am I doing? I'm actually lost. Let's talk about keto basically today. Today, remember how I said yesterday, like it's only up from here unless I fuck things up. And I was like, don't count on me not to fuck things up. And I definitely, and I guess what, guys? Guess what? I fucked things up. Man, but you know what? Life is for experimenting. I was experimenting. That's the only really real way you can actually see or make changes in your life if you experiment. Because if you don't experiment, if you don't control certain things and change and change certain things, so if you control for like basically everything and then could change, make a few tweaks here and there, you can identify how you might feel as a result of that change, and then off that result make further changes or however whatever changes you want to make that would might benefit you or whatnot. It's all up to you at the end of the day. But listen, life is for experimenting. You have to experiment. That's the only way you can test your hypotheses. And listen, a hypothesis can only be nullified. You can't prove a hypothesis. You can gather evidence for it. And I guess, yeah. Anyways, tangent. Listen, back to keto, right? I had a high amount of fat this morning, and I took a psyllium husk tablet with my breakfast. Bad idea. Um, I don't know why I keep trying to increase the amount of fat in my meals. I don't know what it is. Like a sort of, because I've been able to handle it before. I feel like I need to push back to where I was before, when I don't need these extra calories. I don't need this extra fat. I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why. I need to stop. But yeah, I added the extra fat, and I took a psyllium husk, and a psyllium husk kind of draws water in, like it adds fiber and bulks the gut. I mean, bulks the mixture in your gut, so it makes it slower to digest and enter your large intestine. It just bulks everything up, right? And in this case, it's not good because I have so much in my belly already, and because it's taking longer for it to, because it's now bulked up, the small intestine is gonna struggle more to handle it, and that's exactly what happened. 4 hours later, after my first meal, I felt nauseous, and I was thinking, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? I thought it was over this. I thought it was done." Food was done here, man. But again, it was not done. I had to go for a walk. Came back. I was still feeling a little bit nauseous. Eventually, it subsided. I had my final meal and everything was okay. But my lesson takeaway is that reduce the fats and don't do too much at once. Like, because I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, I did both. Like, I could have added the fat first and think, oh, okay, that's fine. But I added this fat and I did the psyllium husk at the same time. And these are where the combined effects it's just too much for your body to handle. Your body makes small adaptations over time, and you can't just hit it with surprises all the time because you're not gonna get a good response. But anyways, everything was fine after, like, by the time I came to eat my second meal, which was like 8 hours after my lunch, I think. But I'm trying to think if I ever got anything else keto related that I actually have to offer you guys. I might throw out some pictures of my meals, see what to let you guys know what I've been eating. It's essentially, yeah, I should probably let you guys know what I've been eating, right? Okay, cool. Maybe I should say that for another video because I feel like I've been speaking up for a while now. But I'll say that for a next video. But update on the burning from the inside. I no longer feel that, and I think it's because I'm now taking. I don't know. These are all hypotheses at the end of the day, right? But I started to drink some blue salt, which is it's a salt that's high in sodium and potassium. So I'm getting some extra potassium, and I've kind of lowered the total amount of sodium, so that balance is more finely tuned. And so I think that has calmed my nerves down a little bit. And apparently, I was at 90% of my target of the adequate intake for calcium. And Gemini was saying that that might be a problem because calcium is the thing that allows something along the lines that allows the electrical signals to actually, what I'm saying, do what they need to do. And so if you have your sodium and potassium at good levels, but your calcium's low, you can still get that nerve sort of misfiring and stuff like that. And I've increased that a little bit as well. So it's like about 9% now. So that could also be playing a factor. But all in all, the nighttime experience was a lot more smooth. Do you know what I'm saying? It was a lot more smooth for sure. For sure. But hopefully I've been getting not a lot of sleep and it's been pissing me off. But this is the story of my life. You know the ones where it's just like, today I'm gonna get an early night. And then you just end up doing stuff. And it's not even like I was listening to a podcast earlier today and they was talking about how you get back home and you need some time to yourself, so you end up scrolling until like 2 a.m. Or like you keep your phone beside your bed and you always pick it up and you always. That's not me, bro. Like that's not even me. Like I don't scroll. I don't do none of that. Like I've got certain habits that I want to build that I'm always trying to build, but I managed to like forget about one of them, and then I managed to cram all the habits in towards the end of the day, and then all of a sudden like it's past my bedtime, or then something pops up, and then all of a sudden it's past my bedtime, and it's like there's always something that pops up that pushes me, that stops me from getting an early night. But tonight is the night. I will get an early night. I promise you. I promise you. It's like 6 something now. I want to be in bed by 8 p.m. And I've done a lot of things that I need to do today. So I don't think I need to do that much following this video. So wish me luck. Boom.